What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Star Wars Squadrons review scores. Now, yes, they went up yesterday. I'm sorry, I could only have, so I already had 4 videos going up on Podcast Now. Otherwise, I would have put this on Podcast Now as well. But I do want to talk about the review scores. I want to talk about what was said, both good, bad on the game, what I got right for my predictions. Remember, I try to predict as many big game review scores as I possibly can, and so I'm going to be talking about that all in this video. Really quickly, we're getting very, very close to 2,000 subscribers. So if you guys are watching this video and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Red button right underneath these videos. I do a brand new video every single day on this channel. Just something to keep in mind. All right, I said this game would get a 7.7 to an 8. At the time I'm looking at this, it's got an 81 or an 8.1. Now, it's only based off of 9 critics, and I think there's like 11 critics that Metacritic has here as that they haven't given a review yet. IGN, I think, gave the story specifically an 8, but they didn't rate the entire game. And then there's a lot of other sites. Again, there's like 11. There's more sites that they have on here that didn't give it a rating than actually did give it a rating. But the message is pretty much the same. So again, something to keep in mind with all of these review scores. I like talking about them. I find them interesting. I know some people look off of review scores to make their decisions. Remember that I don't go based off review scores. I know it may seem like I do because I talk about them so much, but I truly don't. I didn't care what review score this game got. I was going to get it anyway because myself, I was interested in it. Okay? I'm also going to be playing this game. I'm going to have videos on both channels over the weekend. I'll be live streaming this game next week, actually. This week, we're going to be doing Crash 4. And so let's talk about this. The biggest thing I want to kind of zoom in on first is the VR. In my predictions video, I talked about how this could be like the best VR game ever. And while that, is good, it may only, it's only a small portion of people that have a VR. So I don't know how much that'll do for the game. Well, I read pretty much every single one of all of these 20 of what they were saying. The VR aspect of this is the highlight, or one of the highlights, of literally every single one. Nobody's saying, like, this is a bad VR game. I've seen many people say this is the best Star Wars, like, flying game. I've seen people say this is the best, VR game that is like this. That's really, I've seen a lot of people say, like, if you do have a VR and you put the headset on, you will not take it off. Those are all extremely awesome things to hear. Now, I have a PSVR, and I was planning on experimenting with this game, like trying it. I feel like this is almost like the way I gotta do it. Now, live streaming with a VR headset is the hardest thing humanly possible. There's already about 50,000 wires with the PSVR, but this does make me want to say, okay, well, instead of maybe just doing VR with this game one time, maybe that needs to kind of be my preferred setup. You know what I mean? So that was something we discussed as definitely a possibility, and it seems like now that we're here, a lot of people absolutely loved the VR aspect. Look, it's funny because a lot of these guys or gals, and whoever was reviewing these games, a lot of them do end up saying, which I guess is common because you're all playing the same game, they do end up saying close to the exact same thing, which is kind of fun, and it's something that you do notice when you make videos like this where you read so many different reviews and you see kind of the same things come up. The positives of this game, I feel like, are very much entwined with the surprise that this game was solid. I don't know how many people, I think it's actually becoming more apparent, at least from critics. Now, again, this is not counting like a ton of YouTubers. I know there's a really big group of like Star Wars YouTube, there's a huge community there. Now, obviously, they were excited. I was excited, right? We talked about it in videos. I don't know, where everybody was thinking about it. I know my general audience wasn't all that interested in Star Wars Squadrons, but I feel like a lot of the critics were very caught off guard with this, where they're saying it's just solid. There's nothing I saw a lot of people say that there's nothing massive in terms of like the gameplay of like the multiplayer modes, that none of them are going to absolutely blow you away. The story is solid. Nobody's saying it's bad, but again, there's no like, oh my dear God, like this is a moment kind of thing. Everything, and that's why, remember, I predicted 7.7 to 8, and why did I do that? I said, well, there could be really bad things that are equaled out by really good things, or it just may be solid across the board, and that's pretty much what we're getting. Nothing's bad in this game, but nothing's amazing in this game. A lot of people wish there was more to it, and that's reasonable. That is actually part of the reason I think, and that's something to talk about too. Did the game get this review score because it was only $40? Because if this was a full price game, you know that that would be a bigger deal. Yes, you could still have issues, and by the way, like, this could be something even I have. You could still have issues with how much is in this game, like a lack of stuff, but I don't think it's all that fair. In fact, I don't think it's fair at all to hold it against a game like this. There really is a big difference in gaming when you have a game that comes out for $30, when you have a game that comes out for $20, $40, $60. You really do have to judge them all, I would say, differently. Not necessarily maybe the quality. If there's like a $20 game, but it's literally a piece of garbage, it's not all that much different from a $60 game that's a piece of garbage, other than the fact that you spent more money, so maybe you're more mad at it because you wasted your money, right? But in general, there's not all that much, there's not all that much different. For a game like this, I do think it was helped out by the fact that, again, it was a surprise. I feel like it's like a surprise hit. And number two, the price is worthy of what we're getting. We're not getting the biggest story in the world, but it's very solid for what we're getting. We're not getting the biggest populated multiplayer matches in the world, right? There's actually not that many. I think it's 5v5. Not that much. But you can ask for 10v10, you could want 10v10, but it's a smaller game. It's not necessarily something that's expected. Again, there's not too many modes, and I have seen people say some of the modes get a little repetitive, so that could maybe be an issue down the line. Yeah, again, there's reasons you can criticize this game, and that's very, very fair to do, but again, these are all things that kind of come with a $40 game. So really, I think what I'm trying to say is I think EA saved themselves a lot by having this game not be a full-price game, but I'm excited. There's a lot of positives this game. A lot of people are saying, I've seen some say it's a pretty steep curve to get in. But on the same time, a lot of other people have said it's a really nice blend between like arcadey kind of feel and also being like a pretty legitimate like flight simulator. Like it's a nice blend between those. That's exactly what I want. I don't want it to be the most impossible thing where I'll never get good at it, but it's not super arcadey like maybe you would think Battlefront 2 or other piloting games of Star Wars is. This is a more, I guess, realistic, and in whatever term we can actually use that for Star Wars, right? But this is a more like grounded feel where there's a lot more going on. It's a bit more difficult. It feels like you're actually in the cockpit. It's maybe not what we were all expecting, like when we were hearing maybe there'd be like a flying, or like a space game for them, but as we've seen it, it's something that we've all come to kind of accept that, like, this is the game that they're going for. It's kind of, it's very much like a niche. It's a small, it's kind of a very concentrated area that this game is going after, but I think it does what it was aiming to do really, really well. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are you getting this game? Do you like the review scores, and maybe the review scores sell you on the game? Are you surprised? Let me know. Like I said, we're going to have Star Wars Squadrons videos. They may only be on podcasts now, but I'll definitely, on one of these channels, be covering it. We will be live streaming the game next Friday, not today, next Friday. Today, actually, we're going to be doing Crash Bandicoot on podcast now, so if you guys want to tune in there. Again, if you guys aren't subscribed, we're getting very, very close to 2,000 subscribers. I think we can do it within a week or so, so make sure if you guys are not subscribed, you do subscribe, hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And again, I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.